running around in shirts labeled Engager. They're members of what is actually a 20-person social media team.
I think for this conference, BMA Engaged with Social Media, it was really to do two things. One was to create a richer learning environment for the people that were here at the conference. There was a lot of activity going on. You weren't necessarily going to catch everything. So could we use live tweeting? Could we use blogging, video, Facebook, to really get that activity going so people had a richer experience? They could hear things that they maybe didn't hear or make connections that they weren't able to make. I think the second piece of it was for people who couldn't be at the conference, for them to get a sense of what was going on. With the live streaming, it really did that. We saw a lot of tweets coming in from people around the country who were able to watch the presentation. So part of that is for the current real-time learning of people. Part of it is hopefully to create more excitement about, you know what, next year I want to come to the conference again in 2011.
Oh, cool.
Social is a terrific means. I'm not sure that it's the ends in and of itself.
So we're doing blog posts for each of the presenters that are up there today, and it's designed for 3 to 4 word condensed version of what the presenter is talking about. So it's good for people out of the conference. They're able to take a look at different things that the presenter was talking about, so they can actually use that in their office setting. But also it's good for people that were here, that were taking notes, but maybe they didn't take good enough notes, or they want to go back to it and reference what the presenter was talking about.
Raise your hand if you would, who's not received the email requesting you to take a survey. Okay.
I was part of the Facebook team, and one of the things we were attempting to do with Facebook is to create a secondary channel for communication. Now, as a secondary channel, it's used for additional types of communication and sharing. So not a primary one, but a way for us to reach people that may not be on Twitter or may not be on LinkedIn, or share things with other communities that you might participate in. Plus, what we tried to do is create an aggregate. So we brought in blogs, we brought in tweets, we brought in certain pieces of content that we thought would be more appropriate for that kind of thing.
Whatever.
So where did you post the little video that we made?
I was actively involved in making videos and in tweeting, and I think what we've proved here today is that social media is here to stay, and it's on its way up, down, and across the business-to-business world. We've engaged them much more tightly through active involvement with the videos and with the tweets, and got a lot of people participating too, perhaps for the first time.
Crazy stuff. And he gets all the way down to pulling his sock off and trying to get Conan to suck on his sock. And Gary's got it in his mouth, like the CEO and the rest of the leaders within the organization.
What we try to accomplish on LinkedIn is an almost Twitter-like buzz generated with BMA engagers, and producing content in the discussion forums of LinkedIn, and really get a roundtable type of exchange going with the speakers, with the programs, the panels. We wanted people to engage before, during, and now after the event, which I hope they will. The key to that is joining the main BMA Engage LinkedIn group and then the subgroups, and contribute to the discussion.
In terms of achieving that, we're still kind of early in looking at the metrics, but I think in terms of thousands of tweets each day said that we had an engaged social media team, but we also had a lot of people in the audience, and I think particularly on the closing day where we had Chris Brogan and Jeff Hazlett and David Merriman Scott, we had a lot of people outside tweeting back into the conference. We captured those people as we went through. We were following new people for the BMA account. I think another metric is sort of just indoctrinating people, or maybe even just exposing them to social media. And as we did last year, had a lot of people come up. They became more familiar with what was going on. They were kind of learning about social media and the applications. So as presenters were talking about it, they got a little bit of a taste of what was going on. This year we added new technology with Graffiti from Locomoda to project tweets real time in the room. And I think maybe more than anything, in terms of the awareness and in bringing people into social media, that was a really great tool to do it, because even if you didn't have a computer in front of you, you saw what was going on. So We've still got work to document everything and get to all the metrics, but I would say it was a success. We had a great team in place, and they did just an outstanding job of really bringing another dimension to BMA Engage 2010.